Welcome back to How to Cake It. I'm Yolanda, and this week I caked 4 BTS BT21 characters. To be clear, BTS is the
super popular K-pop boy band, and they each have a character, like a cartoon character, an animated character, that represents each one of them, that have their own band. And one of the characters in that band represents their fans. It's like a space robot that represents their fans.
Woo! I need a cheat sheet. Do they make Cole's notes on BTS?
They probably
do. They even make Cole's notes? There's Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Is anyone else as confused as I am?
Holy acronyms.
Fear not, because after this interview, we will know everything about BTS because the ARMY, I feel like the ARMY's gonna show up.
Oh yeah.
Let's see it. Well, all I have to say is,
Okay, I think we're actually gonna talk about the cake now.
yes, cake! That I know! Woo! I baked 7.5 pounds of my chocolate batter. I baked 4 6-inch round pans and 1 4-inch round pan. So these are the cakes we're gonna use to make all of the characters. If you need more details on exactly how you can bake them, click here. Now I have to tell you guys something shocking. I did not level these cakes.
What?
No, because I made like the stuffed version of the characters. And so they're all kind of like poofy and rounded. So I wanted to use the chocolate hump to my advantage.
Hump advantage.
Hump advantage, otherwise known as HA. Everything is gonna be an acronym from now on. So the shapes are similar with some of these characters, but some of them are not. So I've actually printed out templates and I lay my templates on the cakes to help me shape them, especially in the case of Mang, because he's a horse. So I need to get that that horse shape, that nose. So I lay it on, I carve my cakes, and then sort of just re-SD them.
Okay.
Slightly domed,
Got
or
it.
otherwise known as SD. When I'm happy with all 4 of the shapes of Shooky, Cooky, Van, and Mang, I'm going to layer each one of these cakes in 2. I feel like BT21 needs some filling. You know what I mean? This isn't Shooky, this is Cooky. I always want to call him Cooky.
I know.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
Cooky, who's a bunny, needs ears. I'm gonna cut out my ears. I'm gonna sculpt them with a small serrated knife. And when I'm happy with the shape, I'm going to simple syrup all of my cake. You know that we're gonna give these away, right?
Ooh, don't tell them yet.
Okay. No, we're not. Now I can fill my cakes with IMBC.
Nice.
That's a real acronym for Italian Meringue Buttercream. So I'm going to fill my cakes with a layer of IMBC and put their lids on and crumb coat each one. And I'm also crumb coating each ear separate from Cooky, the bunny. Shooky. Is Shooky just like a shook cookie?
What's a shook cookie?
I don't know. Now that my crumb coat is chilled, I'm going to ice all of these cakes once again with IMBC, and I'm gonna use my I to help. I stands for invention, clearly.
No pun intended.
There's no such thing as an acronym for one word.
No, there's not, Yolanda.
Because if there was, you would have invented it. Using my invention, which is just a square piece of acetate, I like using this to ice cakes that have a curve because you can sort of bend it between your fingers and it just helps you ice the curves. Jocelyn shortens everybody's name. If your name has more than 1 syllable,
Well.
it's ridiculous and way too long. Yeah, like Cody's safe. Cody's
Yeah.
never been shortened. But Yolanda,
Way too long.
3 syllables, like it's just greedy. Yo. Now it's time for me to stand them up, each on their individual own. Each on their individual own?
It's a little redundant.
Yeah. Now I need to stand each cake up on its own foam board that's been cut to size. So I'm just gonna spread a little bit of IMBC on the top of the board, stand the cake up on the board, do this for each cake, not the ears, they don't need a board. And now I can ice the back of the cake. Now, while I was making these cakes, I did wonder what flavor of cake that each member of BTS would like. So I'm sure there's someone out there who knows the answer. Please post it below. Are we gonna have like an A.R.M.Y off?
Maybe.
So now that all the cakes are ready to be decorated, I'm gonna focus on one cake at a time. One cake at a time.
That sounds like a song.
So the first cake I'm gonna work on is Shooky. No, Cooky. I can't get it straight. Why doesn't Cooky look like a cookie? I'm like the mom who doesn't know. It's fine. It's gonna be all right. Cake love. My parents couldn't keep track of the 5 guys in New Kids on the Block. It was literally just 5 names. 2 of them were even brothers. The first thing I want to do is cover the back of the cake in the appropriate color, which is pink. So I roll out some pink fondant and then I lay it on the back of the cake, trim away the excess fondant from the bottom. There'll be a seam in this cake, but it's at the back. And then we can go back and cover the front of the cake. Roll out more of your pink fondant to 1/8 of an inch, cover the front and sort of wrap and fold your fondant around the back. And then trim away the excess from around the bottom of the cake and at the seam. So apparently Cooky is like a gym fanatic and has a 6-pack. So I hope he's not upset that I cake-ified him. I've been having a great time customizing almost everything in my kitchen with our new Mix 'em Up stickers. These stickers are removable. If you don't place them right the first time, you can replace them. They're wipeable, so if you're making a batch of IMBC and it splashes, never fear. You can get your own Mix 'em Up stickers. All you have to do is click the link in the description below. This one is on my laptop.
Cake queen.
So now I rolled out some fondant nice and thin for the features of all these cakes. I'm working on Cooky. I'm going to take Cooky's facial features and lay them onto my rolled out black fondant and carefully cut them out with a sharp paring knife. So Cooky has eyes and a nose and mouth and then these fantastic brows. I think these brows indicate that like Cooky is cheeky. Or Cooky's got something's up with Cooky. Imagine we all like got our eyebrows done based on like what we wanted to project out into the world. The other feature I need to cut out for Cooky are the white part, like the inner part of his ears. I'm covering Cooky's ears the same way I covered his face. So I want to cover the back of my ears, trim it, leaving a border of uncovered cake, and then cover the front of the ears. Because the ears are so small, I can lay them onto a soft sponge and then fold my fondant over the back and trim. So I flip all my pieces over and just brush them with a little bit of clear piping gel as my glue, and then I line up the eyes, the mouth, the 2 different size brows, and the whites of the ears. Now I need to add the ears to Cooky's body. So I've cut 2 dowels to the perfect height. I'm going to sharpen each end of these 2 dowels, and then first what I like to do is sort of mark where my ears go and insert my real prepared dowels into those marks, and then I carefully add the ears. So for Shooky, I'm gonna cover him in the same way I covered the first cake. I'm using my sort of tan brown fondant, first covering the back of the cake and trimming it, and then covering the front and cutting a clean line at the bottom and along the seam. He also has 2 different size brows entirely. Similar shape, but 2 different sizes. You know what? This is another 1-tooth character.
I was gonna say, we've had a couple.
Yeah, characters with 1 tooth is sort of a running theme on How to Cake It. Can you name all of the 1-tooth characters I've made? Yo-yos, I need you to step up and name my 1-tooth cakes below. So I need to make his little feet and his little arms. I've made them out of some chocolate fondant. I just basically rolled my fondant into like tubes and then cut them in half, and I shaped the feet. I glue his feet to the bottom of the cake with a little bit of clear piping gel. I just sort of push them in. And then for his arms, I'm going to use a lollipop stick. You'll want to brush the bottom of the arms with a little bit of clear piping gel just to help glue the fondant to the fondant. Here's where I know I'm a Shooky at heart. Shooky hates milk. That's me, and I often feel shook.
About that?
No, just in general in life. So I'm done with Cooky. I'm done with Shooky. Yes. Now I'm gonna move on to Mang, and he's a pony, and he's a lovely, like light blue. So I'm covering him in the exact same way, covering the back trimming, covering the front trimming. Guys, Yo-Yo Day is only 2 days away, and we have bakeries all over the world participating, so you can get a free treat on June 6th. So Yo-Yos, this is your opportunity to give ARMYs a run for their money. You need to show up at your local participating bakery, and you need to proudly exclaim, Happy Yo-Yo Day! And the first 50 people will get a free sweet treat. And if you head out for a free treat, make sure to post it on social media for a chance to win an awesome prize pack. We have some great pans and fondant from Fat Daddy-O's in the prize pack, as well as a bunch of other stuff, so it's such an amazing prize. I want to win it. Can I win it?
You have it, I feel.
You're probably right.
You're on top of your pan collection.
Yes, I am. I am a pan collector, a PC. And I can move on to his facial features. He technically only has one facial feature, which is his eye, because his nose, what I'm gonna do is just use a circle cutter to cut out that nice hot pink and create that sort of 1/2 of a heart, because you're just seeing him from the side. So I'm going to glue that to the front of the cake with piping gel, and I've done the same technique with my template to help place the eye. His eye is actually kind of like 3 layers, so I glued them together and then placed them onto the cake. So Mang is a dancing pony. He's very mysterious, and he always wears a mask. You know what that reminds me of? The scene hider.
It's true.
She's super mysterious.
She is very
Nobody knows who she is. Yeah, she's so mysterious. His ear is the same color as his face, so I use the same light blue fondant, and I roll it into a ball and then just sort of pinch and shape it into an ear that will sit on top of his head. For his hair is really cool because I was gonna start to sculpt it freehand, and then I thought it kind of reminds me of like this daisy cutter I have that I never use. I was saying to Cody, I have a set of daisy cutters that I've never used to make daisies. His hair and his tail are a darker blue, so I roll out a darker blue fondant, and then I use that daisy cutter to cut through it, and then what I do is sort of open it up. It's kind of like a mohawk. You can trim it, you could just lay a cake pan on top and trim along there, so it'll fit right on top of your head. And for his tail, I just sort of roll out a cord of fondant. I'm keeping one end a little heavier, and I want to pinch it just like a tail on a pony. And now I can add all of these things to the cake. Again, I'm using lollipop sticks and piping gel to help support. I thought that the hair would be really tricky because it runs from the top down the side. So I actually used 3 lollipop sticks, and then I just added the tail by gluing it to the bottom of the hair. And moving on to Van, I covered this cake in the same way as the others, except that Van is two-tone. So he's like half white and half gray. So I'm still using the same technique, but I need to cover the back of the cake with, you know, like a semicircle of gray and a semicircle of white, making sure there's a nice clean seam between. And then I'm gonna go back and cover the front of the cake. I covered 1/2 first, chilled the cake, cut a clean seam, and then I covered the other half of the cake and cut a very clean seam. That made me nervous because unlike the seam at the back, which no one will see, his Van seam is like right in the center of his face. I subtly hinted earlier that we are gonna give away these 2 figures, Cooky and Shooky. All you have to do is comment below with the hashtag #HowToCakeBTS and let me know which character is your favorite. That's a low 5. And now I just need to cut out his facial features. He has a very like straight mouth. Straight mouth, and then one of his eyes is an O and one is an X. So I cut those out of black rolled out fondant and used my template to help me place them and glue them onto the cake. I don't know what to call what's on top of Van's head. It's almost like a bun. Maybe it's a man bun.
It might be.
It could be. So what I did is I took some more white fondant and gray fondant, and I rolled 2 balls that are the same size, and then I sort of flattened them. And once you're ready, you're gonna cut each one in half and then place the 2 halves together. You know what it reminded me of? A Baby Bell cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was like, that's the shape you're going for. And then I cut sort of a half circle out of the bottom so that it would sit perfectly on Van's head.
Perfect.
Well, if Van represents the fans, he's technically not just a he.
So we.
Maybe that's why he's two different colors. I don't know. I'm trying really hard. If you know more, leave your knowledge below. So, well, only half the band is here, but it's time for the show. Welcome, BT21. I think it's pretty obvious that if you know a hardcore BTS fan, you need to share this video with them. I'm doing this because we get a lot of BTS requests.
Yeah.
I just didn't have enough time to make all 8 characters, okay? If I didn't make your favorite character, leave a comment below. Do you want to see me cake the other 4? We're gonna decide whether to do that episode based on your comments below. So let me know. I want to see if the ARMY rolls up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel and I will see you guys next week. Be kind.
Yes, be kind.
Be kind, ARMYs. Be kind.